Yeah, hi friends. Thank you for coming for the session. So very quickly to introduce myself, I'm Pawan Lokwani, and I'm co-founder for this agentic AI SaaS solution called Recruitment Smart, and we have built a number of agents. And what I'm talking today is a very relevant topic in terms of everybody's talking about automation, which is very important because as I say that slowly all of us are becoming, for a lack of better words, lazy, and we are looking at how we can get more out of our less time. And it is important that we kind of look at a connected ecosystem, AI recruitment ecosystem, because there are a number of silos in this whole thing. Uh, Very quickly to understand, from a show of hands, how many of you are here who do recruitment, and how many of you, okay, and how many of you are from an innovation side of things, looking things around AI? Okay, so I will try to keep things both the things because my whole presentation is through my own experiences that I've gathered in the last decade by deploying these large-scale recruitment systems with our customers, not only in the UK but globally. Yeah, so we work with FTSE 500 companies, and one important thing that is there is the AI intelligence layer. This is kind of bifurcated into many stages within the hiring process. So how do we get this in a homogeneous way? That whole intelligence is very important. And why? Because there shouldn't be any disjoints, so that at the end of the day, there is no breaks through which we kind of lose the intelligence. So quickly, what's the problem statement here? This whole, I would say, HR technology, which is today in any conference today across the world around HR, I would say 80% everybody is talking about AI. AI in sourcing. When you talk about recruitment systems, it's all about AI in sourcing, AI in your assessment tools, AI in ATS. And the problem is there are a number of silo solutions which are not talking to each other. And that is left on to the users and to the amazing innovation folks within the organization to make it work. What that means is there is a lot of time delay in terms of responsiveness to the applicants. One of the biggest thing I see, and when I talk to our customers, especially large-scale customers, they feel that their candidates are feeling that they are ghosted. They're not getting right response within the right duration. Certain countries like Saudi Arabia have recently got a law of compliance in March 2026 that it is important for organizations to get back to candidates who are applying to them within 2 weeks. And it is important that I would say that most of the other jurisdictions will also bring in such similar laws. A lot of time goes on to admin, just punching data, getting the data from LinkedIn, putting into your sourcing tools, then putting that into your ATS. And what it kind of yields is the end user is not able to get the candidate because candidate is feeling that they are not getting right responses very quickly, and there is, I would say, 33% reduction or drop into acceptance of offers. So what we are looking for and what the users are looking for, what the TA professionals are looking for, is an end-to-end journey which is connected at every stage, and there should be a proper handoff at different stages so that there is no resets, there are no data losses, and the experience of the candidate, because what we promise to the candidate is that even if you are not happy with your job at 2 o'clock and you apply to this organization, there is somebody there to listen to you. And that's what even our customers are trying to get to, that they should have a listening ear to every candidate. So what we are aspiring in terms of is a one connected intelligence layer from the very first. So if you look at your hiring cycle, you have first the definition where you, as an HR, or talent acquisition professional work with your hiring managers, with your leaders, that to identify what kind of a role that they're looking to fulfill for. And there is not always the best fit, as you always have to find that, okay, what you're looking for, you need to put in the best way. So what we do is we try to make an AI solution that will help to put the job description in an unbiased way, which is audited, so that there is no bias. Once that is done, which is a good baseline, we need to get to the next stage. And there, I was talking to some customers, oh, we use OpenAI. We can use OpenAI to create a good job description. Yeah, that's great. But what a good job description you have created, and if it is not kind of stored anywhere, and you have downloaded it and you're just putting into an applicant tracking system in a silo, that's not good enough, because that will break your cycle. So all these stages needs to be coherently working in your applicant tracking and in your whole supply chain in a proper way. There is a need for sourcing. Now, sourcing is the biggest topic at the moment. The budgets that are allocated for sourcing, I was very surprised, is more than 15 times the budget that is for the whole process that we kind of incorporate into hiring. You need that one best candidate. You are sitting in UK and you want to hire somewhere in US. How do you find that person? There is an organization will spend everything to kind of get that right candidate once they find it. So sourcing is the biggest area. It is important that you do the talent matching very effectively from wherever the talent is coming from. And AI can play a very good role in that. The rediscovery of candidates that is already have with you in your databases, AI can do amazing work at that, at finding those candidates, and then parsing them properly, and then putting them into a CRM. And that can reduce your cost to hire by at least 40%. Now, you have found those amazing 5 good candidates or 10 good candidates through your sourcing channel. It needs to be properly in your supply chain. If you're not putting them, then again, there is a chance that you will not be able to engage with them in an effective fashion. And if you don't engage with that one candidate that is important, you will miss the right candidate. It is important to engage. Engagement can be through different channels by using automation. The AI talking to the candidate at that 2 o'clock when they are not happy because of something, either some work pressure or the work is not going as what they wanted to happen. So 24/7 career bot is very important. And there are great solutions. So if you look at bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, and bucket 4, which is evaluation. So once you engage the candidate, now you have to evaluate him or her by doing a right kind of assessment. That assessment needs to be through some kind of a video screening, because today, if you will call the candidates on the first day for interview in your premises, it's neither a good thing for you as an organization, neither a good thing for the candidate. People do that, which is fine, but there are tools available in which you can do effectively through AI in a video format. And by that stage, you have accumulated enough signals that how much the person or the candidate is engaged in your funnel, and how many people you can accurately you have in your funnel. Once you have that, it's more about optimization, ensuring that you have your dashboards and your forecasting proper. And once you finalize that candidate through your process of interviewing, there is an effective onboarding process. So the AI can play, again, a very effective role in onboarding. These whole 6 buckets, stages, are, in a way, there are a lot of point solutions which are available. And there are solutions which are great, which do everything. But if you go in the market and find it out, some customers will say, we have that whole fabric, but they don't work in such a coherent way. So what, as an organization, every user or every customer is looking for, these whole 6 to work in a very connected, in a proper way, so that they can be effectively finding the right kind of candidate. Now, AI is so well in the ecosystem. Sorry for that if you're not able to read but I will go through that each point. There is a huge area around privacy. There is a huge area around ensuring that we are giving explainable AI, that it is not becoming a black box. And we are giving the right opportunity to every candidate, and even in US, there are class action suites being put by candidates onto organizations. So organizations have a duty to kind of ensure that they are protecting themselves, and there are number of laws that are coming into play, like EU AI Act, then you have Colorado Act, and then you have NYC 44. So whichever solution that you're putting, and which is ensuring that you are capturing all the different stages, needs to definitely have an explainable AI by design. What that means is that whichever candidate you are shortlisting or you're rejecting, there should be an ability by the organization that you should be able to explain why they are taking that decision. It is fine that you are taking AI to make that decision, but there needs to be very well explainable at any time. So there needs to be a kind of a candidate card which shows about that why this specific candidate is suitable or not suitable. And as much as possible, it is important that these solutions have not autonomous decision making, but also some kind of a human in the loop, which ensures that there is diversity built in, and that is also based on the competency. And the last thing is the data that is with the customer from you that you are using shouldn't be used for training. You must have seen that many times customers are not very confident because they feel that their data might be used for training, which is an appropriate ask. AI should be working in such a way that there should be enough data that can be used outside of the customer premise to train it, and what data it's getting from you, it should be used only for your own training to make the algorithm for yourself, not for any other. So we have these certifications like SOC 2, CCPA, EU AI Act and GDPR, and similarly recently we got this modern AI to ensure that what we are delivering AI can be audited and trusted at any time. That is a very critical ask. Many times you will see that organizations are saying that yeah, we have these kind of compliances, but it should not be only at one specific point of the year. It needs to be literally every month or every week. The data that has been processed needs to be audited, and then only you can ensure that this can be trusted. It is not having any kind of bias issues. It is not having kind of compliance with diversity issues and those kind of things. What we have done, we are a scale-up at the moment, having more than 75 customers globally, and these are enterprise customers, through which we have got this understanding. And I will talk about 4 different use cases or 4 different customers that we have been working in the last 2 years. The first on the right side is MAG, which is Malaysian Airlines. Now, when Malaysian Airlines looks for their cabin crew for hiring 10 cabin crew members, they go for hiring drives, and the biggest problem is the velocity. They get over, I was amazed to see that data, they get over 20,000 applications to be processed in 1 week. Not 1 week, 1 weekend, on Saturday and Sunday when they're doing a drive. Now, that kind of a process is not possible if you are not doing it in an automated fashion. So you need a solution that can work in a very faster way, so we achieve 40% faster time to offer, and 20% increase in shortlisting, and 76% in their accuracy of shortlisting. So from 20,000 candidates, we very quickly come down to very manageable number of 1,600 to 1,700 based on what the criteria the customer is setting for. And then next stage of shortlisting to at least 400 to 500, and those 400 and 500 people can be go through the funnel in the 48 hours with the Malaysian Airlines. We work with another customer, which is a banking client. banks are very heavy on compliances. They want to be sure that whatever kind of system or what kind of AI, UK is slowly catching up. I was talking to a lot of banks yesterday here. We have a booth here on FF52, so we had a number of banks coming in. They're slowly catching up in terms of, but there is a lot of, I would say, fear. And compliance is a very big thing, especially in banks. And ensuring that data residency is taken care of is very important, that the data is not kind of missed anywhere else. Another customer is into oil and gas, which is Thai Oil, and they had some integration issues going on, that how we can ensure that the pipeline of sourcing can be fed into their applicant tracking system in an effective way, and ensure that we are able to standardize the requirement and ensure 100% visibility across different channels. So all this is collected through different global leaders through which we have been working. In UK, Rent to Kill, HCL Tech, NetWest, and other countries like John Clement in Philippines. So this is enough proof point for us to kind of understand what it requires to build a scalable AI solution for an enterprise market. Before I kind of last slide that talk about how we can utilize AI into the whole ecosystem, is one, building the competency mapping using AI, then ensuring that there are enough internal mobility use cases that can be built, because AI can very effectively find out that which are the candidates which are internally available, and then create a predictable gap analysis, gap analysis. And that talent intelligence platform that we are building should cover every cycle within that ecosystem. So if you're looking to work on reducing your cost to hire, time to fill, or ensuring your annual hiring volumes are met, and looking to do it at scale and with AI, please do drop us to FF52, which is our booth here, and we'll be happy to kind of talk about it. But before I go, like, if there are any questions, I'm happy to take in. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a very good question.
I already asked, but I'd like to learn, how are you training your data when you are starting to work with a company? Are you training the data with your data or with the company's data, or a combination? Regarding thinking about the potential legal problems.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good question about compliance. And because we have been into existence for more than 10 years now, we have been fortunate enough to work with a lot of global customers. So we have defined a very effective process for this. So we take publicly available data, and we have more than 30 data sources through which we get publicly available data, which is paid data, to train our models. And our model is trained over 800 million data points, which is data of skills, candidates, jobs. Having said that, this is, you can say, as a base data set. In 70% of the cases, this works well, but there are certain nuances, and especially when you're working with enterprises. There, what we do is, when we start the engagement with the customer, in the first week we do a baselining of the algorithm, and we take customer data, and then we flush it over our own models. But we ensure that it is done in such a way that it is bucketed, and it is completely guardrailed, so that there is no problem with privacy and security of the data. And that model that is developed by using the customer data improves the accuracy at least by, I would say, 10 decimal points. So let's say if we have a base accuracy of 80%, if we build this model further with customer data, we'll go to 95% accuracy on the day one. And that improves the efficiency of the model and the I would say, the user experience quite a lot. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I think he's giving you the mic, yeah.
So how do you use AI to automate and improve time to fill as a metric?
Yeah. We have agents, so we have developed agents, and what the process being done at the moment in a manual fashion that we do it so we have, I would say, 6 agents. So first agent does creation of job. You can play with the agent, you can write few things, it will respond, you can further, it will quickly do that. And then you can give it to your hiring managers, they can play around. Then we have another agent for sourcing. So in the sourcing agent, you can just say, oh, go and find me best candidates for this, first into my own data of organization, and then go out and look at publicly available data. Once it does that, then you will have a scheduling agent because you have the shortlist. You can ask the scheduling agent that these are the next 3 days, I want to schedule 10 people. It will go and ask, let's say it will go to and ask you that when are you available and fix up time, fix done. Once that is done, we have video interview. So the video interview agent will do asynchronously an engagement with the candidate and does an assessment. So at the end of the day, within a space of 3 to 5 days, without doing any manual intervention, you will get a good set of 5 to 6 candidates, which are not only a good fit for your organization, but engaged. And they have also been assessed to a first level. And then you can ask them to come for a next round of interview where we have a structured interview platform which will assist your hiring manager to make it a structure. So we have these agents that help them. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. You just give a mic to her.
Thank you. Does your sourcing agent has access to LinkedIn, or is it just sourcing out of the scraping data?
No, so let me, LinkedIn has become very insular at the moment. We had it till 6 months back, and there were some issues with LinkedIn, so now we are not having direct access to LinkedIn. But we have in our sourcing agent something like 800 million profiles fed in from 30 plus diligent and legitimate data sources. So which are engaged and which are GDPR compliant. And we can see in that the LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn URLs of the candidate, through which after that the organization's talent acquisition people can go ahead and talk to them after that. Yeah. Okay, I think thank you everyone for coming and listening to the talk. And if you have any questions, please come to our stall F52. Thank you.